Man, welcome. This is what I would call a special edition of the early morning sports talk podcast at night. This is our second edition of a night show, but this here is tailored to the NBA trade deadline, to where we have seen a bunch of catastrophic, earth-shaking trades in the last, I would say, 96 hours here for the NBA. Um, so without further ado, introducing, I guess, the first lady of the program, Moneybag TT, Tiana.
Hey, don't be talking too much. I'm
Oh,
chilling, I'm chilling, I'm chilling.
are you
How's it
really?
going?
And it's going, but are you really chilling with these deals? Are you really?
Man, what I man blown. It's crazy. I don't think I was just thinking after even the latest one we'll get into, the Jimmy Butler one. I was thinking, I don't think I've ever seen so many major pieces move like this in the middle of the season. You usually wait till um the summer and then you see where they're gonna go, right?
Yep.
I don't have you ever seen this many major players move around like this in the middle of the season? Like for the deadline?
Not so. There's been some deadlines I remember where the day has been pretty active, and you might get like one, maybe two big deals on
But
that
it'd be
day.
like
But it'd be a
role players
yeah,
and,
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 and then
and
you
pick
might get
spots.
one like key star, something, but not like this.
Yeah. This is insane. Like whole teams, whole conferences are being shaken up in the middle of the season. If you pick somebody to win, the conference last week, think again. Because we gotta look and see what the shakedown is for the rest of the season. That's how major I feel that these trades have been.
Yeah, this here, and we gonna get into each and every one, and then maybe predict a couple here, because I mean we still got, I would say, 18 hours or so left before the deadline is completely done. So
Hmm.
let's get into it. Tonight's trade that just happened less than an hour ago.
Hmm.
So Jimmy Butler, we heard maybe about 3 days ago to saying that Jimmy Butler didn't want to have anything to do with the Warriors. Pretty much, it was the Heat. I mean, the Suns or nothing. Pretty much,
Yeah.
and that's all you kept hearing. Even earlier today, that's what I kept hearing. Fine.
Hmm.
And then apparently he changed his tune real quick and decided to sign off on going to the Warriors and signing an extension with them. So Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. Andrew Wiggins, who won a championship with the Warriors, he's gone to the Heat. PJ Tucker, who you mentioned before we even got on the pod, that's just pretty much a pawn in these trades these days. He ends up back with the Heat. Um, and I think you just became Shefty here or Woj. We probably got some more notifications going off. I'm playing. Warriors first round pick goes to the Heat. And then
Hmm.
Dennis Schroeder, who just got on the team not too long ago, he finds his way to Utah. Good luck with that. Cal Anderson, who is a first time player on the Warriors, he ends up in Detroit, who's actually not a bad team this year. So, what's your initial reaction to this trade when you first heard it tonight?
My initial reaction, it's not even directly like player related. Like I just stated, it's just this overall, just the sheer surprise and shock value that this deadline has been having so far on the NBA world. And I was watching a first take a few episodes, the episode after the Luca trade, really. And I mean, I forget old boy name, but he said it best. It was needed. To me, this has been one of the most boring NBA seasons. Um, because so many blowouts, right? It just feel like the players really not in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is really definitely serves as a wake up call. I know that Luca trade did, because ain't nobody safe, and especially with the NBA, being ran by the players, and the top players, the star players, they have a lot of input and say on where they go, who they want to come. to the team and stuff, and three of the biggest stars, or the three of the top 6, 7 players in AD, LeBron, and Luka right now, they had no stay. Not only that, they didn't even know. I know we talked about Jimmy, but that's just my overall.
Yeah.
We'll dig more into that one because I'll say about that one. But then that was my first reaction, just in general, just about the way the league has been this year and how this was a shock factor and how it was needed. But then my second thought was Jimmy and Draymond in the same locker room. Too high
Whew.
hands. Exactly. Did you even get that far? Did you think about that? Um, Social media
No.
cracks me up because it's so funny. They get mad first. They got these people fighting like the first practice. They get mad at each other. It is hilarious. But I I think Jimmy will be happy. He just wants to win, right? He's a winner and he doesn't want to sacrifice nothing about it. He's not politically correct, right? He doesn't have that he doesn't play those office politics, quote unquote, that comes with business. He wants to win. He wants to be someone that's gonna win. If he don't like where he at, I'm out. I'm not kissing no ass. I'm not saying it nice. I'm not, coddling you. F you, I want out. This where I want to go, or I'm not going now. You know exactly where you stand with Jimmy, and that's the kind of player he is. And to me, I don't have a problem with it because as long as everybody's doing what they should do, which is working their butt off to win, you get no problems out of him. You get no problems out of him. And it's when the team starts to be okay with mediocrity is when he has a problem. You know what I'm saying? And is that such a bad thing? You know what I'm saying?
No.
So, I have no problem with it. I feel like the problem though is that the Warriors right now is at mediocrity. Last time I checked, you can fact check it, please. But the Warriors was sitting outside the play-in at number 11 in the West. The last time I looked, a day or two ago. So I highly doubt, he's satisfied and gung ho unless he try to. And knowing Jimmy Butler, because I've been a Jimmy Butler stan since his second year on the Bulls. Knowing him, he's gonna try to jolt some life into that team to push them up to overachieve. Because I feel like the Warriors feel like this ain't a year for them to do anything. So if you really watch them and be completely honest, Steph has just been doing stuff. Most of the times he hit his shots. Some days he had off days, and when he do, oh well, I ain't got nothing else to prove, which is true. But him, the organization, and when I say him, I mean Steph and the organization, no, they don't have the pieces to make a championship run this year. And so they're okay with wherever the ships land by the end of the season. And I feel like Jimmy's gonna go in there and try to shake shit up and try to make a push to do something because it's just not in his nature just to sit back and be okay with being, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that dynamic and coming in there, even though he most likely not gonna sign next year, he don't care. He still wants to see what's gonna happen now, So that'll be very interesting to see the dynamic of the team as a whole because he's a very, very strong personality, along with Draymond, along with the leadership of Steph, along with just the culture of the Warriors, and it's a lot. And then, if I'm not mistaken, please fact check me again. I believe this is Jimmy's first time in the West.
Second.
Second. Okay. Who was he? Who was he in the West with?
Minnesota.
Oh yeah, how did that go? So it's like it's a lot of factors with it. I'm a little biased. I'm a Jimmy fan. I'll let you go and I'll come back to you, rebuttal what you got to say. But those was my initial reactions, just the league overall and Jimmy's cultural fit at this point in time with where the Warriors are in this season was my two initial reactions.
Gotcha. Well, Jimmy Butler's a player that we know pretty well. I mean, we saw the kid grow up here in Chicago and become a star before being shipped to Minnesota, and then to Philly, and then to Miami, where we
Mhm.
saw him carry the Heat not once but twice to the NBA
Oh.
Finals.
Mm-hmm.
I remember he went back to Philly and beat the Sixers in the series, and
Mm-hmm.
talking about they chose Tobias Harris over me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's that dog in them. That's like, you don't see too many of that in players anymore these days. Um, Jimmy cares about winning.
Mm-hmm.
And to go to Golden State, to an organization that, I mean, has done nothing but won in the last 10 years. That's what they known for. And Steph Curry came out and said that he didn't really want the team to go out and go all in, because knowing what type of roster they have, and probably know, in all honesty, that maybe their window has closed. But
Yeah.
the owner said F that. He was disappointed in the team and said, we're going to make a deal regardless. We're going to get somebody in here. And part of me feels like they're not done dealing just yet. Because, as you stated, I mean, just looking at the standings, they are tied for 10th right now.
Okay.
And the Mavericks is technically tied with them, but they just played 2 more games. They got 1 win and one more loss in the column there. But nevertheless, Jimmy Butler gives them a little bit more of an edge. I mean, they already edgy to begin with Draymond Green, but they actually gives them a guy who's a gamer. That's what I like to call Jimmy Butler. He's a gamer. He's maybe not like an all NBA first team guy, but I just know one thing. That's ask the Boston Celtics how they feel about playing Jimmy Butler in a 7-game series, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors sneak into the playoffs with a Jimmy Butler on the team, coupled with a Steph Curry. You got something to look out for. You still got Buddy Hield, if I'm not mistaken, on that team as well, and still got Jonathan Kuminga, which may or may not be a trade chip here in a second, but nevertheless, as it's currently constructed, that lets me know the Warriors are not trying to just roll over and die per se. They trying to go out swinging. They gonna like give it as much effort as they can while Steph Curry is still on the team and playing until the day he retires. That's what it signals to me, that they're gonna keep fighting until there's no more left.
Yeah.
So I kind of respect it. And as far as every other team that's associated with this trade, I mean, the Heat got rid of their quote unquote problem, and maybe the Pistons got some more. Another veteran in that team with a young cast there. The Pistons are a team that's fun to watch on the rise. I mean, Utah's Utah, whatever. But yeah, Jimmy going, and then Jimmy signing a 2-year, $121 million extension. I mean, he got his money. That's what he really wanted, on top of just being on a winning organization. So there you go.
Yeah. So what was that your initial reaction?
Yeah, it was like, funny thing was, I was telling my coworker today that and I guess I was wrong. It was either Jimmy Butler either goes to Phoenix or he's not going anywhere at all, just based on what we was hearing early in the day. So
yeah, the problem with that scenario, from my perspective, from just reading stuff and me putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
The issue is that the Warriors wanted KD back. Yep. I think they know that Steph is going to retire soon, and they wanted to try it one more time before Steph go, because we all know how successful it was, right, when KD was there. And KD going to the Warriors nullifies Butler going to the Suns. Like, what's the point? Like, he's going there to play with a star. You know what I'm saying? And to win now. If you take away the main reason for the season and send him to the Warriors, and then send Butler to the Suns, that negates his reason for wanting to go to the Suns. Exactly. So it's like 2 things couldn't have happened at the same time.
So let me ask you this. Since I think Kevin Durant didn't really want to do the reunion there, because they wanted to play together in Phoenix, but now since this trade has happened, would Kevin Durant reconsider that notion and would want to get traded to the Warriors now?
Can they afford it?
I mean, you still got Kuminga. That's the trading chip. that's the centerpiece right there.
Kaminga for Katie, really,
I mean, I just said
really,
it's the centerpiece. I didn't say that was the only piece.
really.
You have to get creative. I mean, we.
The
I mean,
Warriors wouldn't have a
matter of
pick
fact,
till 2052 if
I
they.
mean, I mean, teams have done worse.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, perfect segue. I mean, the, I mean the Mavs gave up Luka for a lot less. So,
Man, please, can you do us the honors and run down exactly what happened in that trade? Who got what and for what?
yeah, give me 1 second. But I mean that this one, I guess. I mean, I think it's general consensus that this is the most shocking trade in the history of the sport. It may be the most shocking trade in the history of North America sports.
For
It,
real, it's so funny. While you look for it, I'll tell a story. I, as most people do, scroll social media, and it was so big that I saw a post on Facebook and was like, "Can somebody explain the Luke this what's going on in basketball in girls terms?" And so in the comments it said it's like trading Beyonce from Destiny's Child for Chili from TLC.
yo, yo,
I was like, what?
I'm not
That's
gonna
how
disagree.
major this is. Like, I gotta find that post. That comment section was insane. But it is. It's like that trade, I think, shifted is gonna shift the way it's gonna shift the NBA moving forward as a whole for a couple reasons.
No, no, it definitely is. Let me just read. I got the details here for you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so the Lakers end up receiving Luka Doncic, Maxi Kleber, Markieff Morris. Dallas receives Anthony Davis, Max Christie, Lakers 2029 first round pick, and the Utah Jazz, who was just thrown in there for whatever reason. They received Jalen Hood, Stefanino, whatever. Lakers 25 second round pick, and the Mavericks 25 second round pick. That's it. Like, if you, there's no way that's all you're getting for Luka. There's no way.
I feel like it has to be more to the story that obviously us regular folk
Absolutely
don't know. The only thing that's buzzing around is Luka's training, like his conditioning. He's nonchalant. He knows he that guy, and it is what it is. And he got very, very comfortable. And I think knowing Mark Cuban, they were all surprised and on a high with the Mavs getting to the finals last year, right? And I think they like, let's run it back. Do what we got to do. Let's run it back. And I don't think Luka had that. What's the word? That yeah, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't
dedication.
have that wherewithal. He didn't have that go getter in him to immediately try to run it back. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and then I think on top of that, he got hurt, which I'm hearing was a preventable injury, and that he got injured because he was not taking care of himself properly. And it had him out for an extended period of time. I mean, he been out since Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he been out a month and a half. So in pivotal games, these the tough, games between Christmas and All-Star break to really determine seeding. So I think they was just fed up with it and say, I'll show you.
Let me throw a little monkey wrench in here. I know you mentioned Mark Cuban's name. What if I told you that Mark Cuban's not majority owner anymore? He don't even have any influence on basketball decisions.
He don't. That is true.
Because he was just as shocked as everybody else.
He don't. Well, I think that makes my take out Mark Cuban, and then that makes it make even more sense than what I said, right?
Yeah,
Because
because he loves Luca.
exactly, and the new majority owners is like, we need to run it back and try to win, and Luca, still that laissez-faire attitude, and they like, all right, bet. What's the name? Ahead of said something that made so much sense. He was like, "You are replaceable until you replaceable." You know what I'm saying? It's really that simple. Um, till I find somebody, you're replaceable till I find somebody else. So it's basketball people being born every day, B.
Dude, let me let me say some of this stuff here. So apparently, yeah, what's reported, the only people that knew was uh, the GM, if I'm not mistaken, Nico Harrison, who was
Mhm.
a executive for Nike for almost 20 years. His good friend, Rob Pelinka, um, who pretty much fleeced him in his deal, and the owners. Those the only people that knew. Jason Kidd had no idea, and you saw Jason Kidd at the press conference. He just sitting there looking like, man, I don't even know why I'm up here. I don't have nothing to do with this dude. And then him sitting up there talking about like, yeah, I didn't even talk to Jay Kidd about it. Like me and Jay Kidd, we got this relationship to where I know what kind of players he wants. We talked about the coach that we're trying to set, and Jay Kidd is looking like, man, I don't want nothing to do with this. Sitting there looking peed off, like
Yeah.
for real. Um, dude, for Luca to be traded in the manner that he was, a 25-year-old international superstar, top 5 player in the league by far, if not top 3. Like you mentioned, just came from taking the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals. Like nobody said
Nobody expected them to go that far.
nobody. You do
Mhm.
all that. 5-time first team All NBA player. Once again, 25 years old. 25. If you traded him, that lets me know that they were absolutely done dealing with him, and that says a lot. I mean, if like I recall, like when they went to the NBA Finals, when they beat who was that they beat in the conference finals? Uh, was that Minnesota last year?
I want.
Yeah, that was Minnesota.
Well, mm-hmm.
When they beat Minnesota and they was celebrating, like he had a beer in his hand, and you saw Michael Finley walk up and take the beer out of his hand. Like, is there something to it? Because when basketball is over, like that man don't like it's over. He's chilling in all season. Like he always come in the camp like James Harden Jr. Always overweight. Got to play in the way in the shape. Takes like a quarter of a season to a third of a season to get back in a basketball shape. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, was they sick of him not putting in the effort on defense? Because every time that I saw him on defense, especially against the Boston Celtics, that man looked like a straight cone in the
Oh
street.
yeah, he don't do because he didn't play in Paris, did he?
No, they didn't even make the Olympics. He tried to though.
Oh, okay.
They was trying to qualify, but they didn't make it. But nevertheless, I mean, he don't play a lick of defense.
Mm-hmm.
Not like no effort. He don't even
He
run
don't even
back.
put his hands up. He
He
don't even
don't even
take.
like he it's like he just complained to the refs like dude like do something like they was in that NBA finals they was isolating that man wherever he was at on the court they was going at him. It didn't matter if it was Jason Tatum, it didn't matter if it was Jaylen Brown, it didn't matter if it was Derek White, it didn't matter if it was Drew Holiday, man, it didn't
Mm-hmm.
matter if it was Al Horford old self out there. He was taking advantage of Luka all the time.
Yeah.
And so, look, I mean, if I'm the Lakers, I don't blame them one bit. I mean, if you're gonna sit there and offer me Luka Doncic, okay, like any like, and then you just gonna for AD,
Yeah.
okay, I ain't
Right.
got I ain't got to give up multiple draft picks, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel like you said something to me, because we was talking late when this happened, because I was just so like, what? But you said something that actually resonated with me, um, about this trade. You said that, and my brain would go blank. Um, have to circle back. Well, my brain, it was completely blank. But it'll come back to me.
So really quick, while your
Uh,
brain is circling back,
mhm.
one thing that somebody said that will probably really change how business is done in the NBA. This move lets you know that, like, even though like the players for like the recent memory have had all this power, like even Jimmy Butler, at the end of the day, the owner said we gonna do what we want to do. Like
Mhm.
nobody knew. Like if we have to
Yeah.
conduct business in the dark, we will. And this trade costed Luka Doncic 116 mil because there's no more supermax for him. He don't get the 5-year, $345 million extension anymore. That got shaved down tremendously.
Yeah.
And there's only two players in the league with a no trade clause: LeBron James and, for whatever reason, Bradley Beal. And so you're going to see players going forward, especially star players. I guarantee you, to prevent this,
Get
they're
them
going
no
to
trade
negotiate. Yes,
clause.
they're going to negotiate that. Because not only he got shocked, but he lost out on all that money in a state that's like no state taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Going to what, the
One of the
second
highest state taxes.
in the country by
Yeah.
far. So
Mm-hmm.
you lost at least a third of your money right there,
Mm-hmm.
on top of the 116 that you lost. And then not to mention, like a week ago, he just bought a $12 million mansion there. So all this money just lost.
Yeah.
So
You said this is what the Lakers do, right? They don't develop stars, they buy
right.
stars.
Yep.
And that's such a it makes all the sense. And that leads me to our next part into the question is who won the trades, right? So even so for this trade, because I think we should do it for all the trades,
Yep.
but for this trade, my initial reaction, as I told you the other day when it happened, was I mean, Lakers won all day in the long run because they have their star. This is who the Lakers are. The Lakers have no problem. They have always had an identity. And their identity is look at our star player, come watch him play. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we win or lose, you come in to see our person. It was Kareem. It was Magic. You know what I'm saying? It was Kobe. It was Shaq. They had a person. Come and watch our person play. And then it's LeBron. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Whether we good or bad, this is our star player. And that didn't change. They right on par, with who they are and bringing in Luka. Come watch our star person play. He's our guy for the next 6, 7, 10 years, you know?
Yeah.
It makes all the sense in the world. It can't be LeBron. He's out the door. AD cannot be trusted. He's so fragile. And honestly, he's older in NBA years. He's 30. Unfortunately, that's older in NBA years. 30, what is he, 31, 32?
31.
I think he's 32. So you get somebody that's 7 years younger, right? That's, as you would say, not as fresh because he's been playing pro ball for a long time. But I think he definitely has more global appeal,
Yeah.
right? And even though he may not be as fresh, but compared to AD, I would still say he's more durable. So
Now, yes.
yeah. So I think the Lakers played chess and they definitely hit it out the park. And the Mavs, want to get rid of Luka, feel like they got something back. Yeah, I think they definitely needed a defensive piece, right? Because AD is still, when he's not hurt, let's not act like he ain't blocking, a walking double double. Okay,
Without a doubt.
easily. I mean, 25 and 12, easy on any night against
Yeah.
any team. So that's still a great thing. His problem is just is his
Health.
durability,
Yeah.
right? And his health. And so that's very, very risky. So putting that up against Luka in a situation that the Lakers wanted, because one other thing I'll say is, as far as comparing who won the trade, I feel like both the teams, the Mavs and the Lakers, they had two different goals. I don't think the Lakers' goal was to win now. That's not their goal.
No.
I think the Mavs' goal is to win now, and they feel like with the whole NBA, honestly, being a toss up outside of OKC in the West, honestly, is excuse me, honestly, is anybody's game. To be completely honest. So I feel like they feel like with AD, they really have a chance to make a run. And like you said, they probably not done because we got another 18 hours or so. Um, so we'll see what else they got to do.
Yeah. So
choking to death.
Oh man. So I did, conduct a poll in our Facebook group. Shout out to the 17 people that voted. And basically asked, and really quick before I get into that, Ian said different goals, but decent trade for both teams.
Because it fits their goals. That's why. Yes. It makes sense for their individual goals. I agree. Yeah. Well, you agree with me.
That's one of the first times in a long time I think both of y'all actually agree on something. So
yeah, because he be off, way off. But that's a story for another day.
Y'all funny. So what's this? 6 people said the Lakers won. 2 people said the Mavs won, but majority of the people, 9 people, said it's too early to tell. Mm-hmm. Too early to tell. And I mean, yeah, this is one of those trades that we probably can't really judge until maybe at least 3+ years down the line to see what really happened. Because at that point, AD will pretty much is exiting or already exited his prime. Luka's probably going to peak of his prime and see how the Lakers team, fits. And, Mr. Ian here said, no, she just hates Ron. That's the discussion for another day because we could be here all night with that one.
I'm telling you.
No, so here's the thing, and I was telling you, I felt like the Mavericks initially won this trade. And that's because AD is a piece that they really needed for that team, just for what they're trying to do. I mean, it goes kind of back to what you're saying, like different goals for different reasons. AD was in my opinion, a perfect fit for that team. He doesn't. Funny thing is, the week before he's talking about, we need to get a 5 in here so I can play the 4.
They're like, we got a 5 for you, all right.
We got a 5 for you in Dallas. You just not gonna be here.
Right. I mean, just diabolical. It's sad note. That's because it's like these. I know these owners and GMs be seeing these locker room interviews and watching these like these BuzzFeeds and all that stuff, and they just be like, okay, like they be laughing to themselves in the train and like in their office and be like, he out of there anyway. Like,
dude, like they don't care, dog. Just like
insane.
Just like the video I shared in the group where Max Christie, he was the last game that he played in the locker room talking, even though he was on the road, and I get it, but it's just the fact that he was talking and they just snatched his nameplate off the back of his locker.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. No, in my opinion, like AD fits what they're trying to do as far as that. I mean, Kyrie is still Kyrie. Clay, I mean, you I already know how you feel about Clay. It ain't he's not the Clay of what we know him to be.
He's the ghost of Clay's past.
Yeah, but there's been a couple games this year where he's hit 6+ threes in the game like it's nothing.
Consistent.
It is.
I don't need a couple games. But we 40 games in. What you mean a couple games?
Hey, look.
We 50 games in.
We're not expecting Clay to be the second best player on the team anymore.
That's the problem.
He needs to be the 4th best player on the team.
That's the problem.
Right now he's the 3rd best player on the team. He needs to be the 4th. I don't think they're done dealing either. They get one more piece that's adequate. Then it's like, look out. A lot of people think they're the 2nd or 3rd best team in the West right now. They're 11th in the standings, and I'm okay with that because they're going to climb.
Yeah.
And if you really,
I mean,
look at it.
Sorry, go ahead.
And lastly, if you really look at it really quick, Golden State is 10th right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is 11th. San Antonio is 12th. and all three of them made major trades.
Mm-hmm.
That lets me know that even though they're that far down, none of them think that they're out of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you were saying a couple minutes ago, saying outside of the Thunder, the West is wide open.
It is. It is. So yeah. And I'll jump to the Jimmy trade because we didn't cover who we thought won that trade.
Okay.
Go
back to it real quick.
I'm just laughing because they poor Dennis Schroeder. Poor him.
Dude, nah, man. This man's talking about this is modern day slavery. I like
how many millions he making?
Yeah, dude. Like, nah, that was the wrong analogy.
It really was. But he definitely got shipped around. Don't put no roots nowhere. He had him and PJ Tucker. Just keep y'all bags packed. Okay, y'all are some
just live in an Airbnb, dog. Don't even like try to get a
don't even get an apartment. Nah. Don't even get a 6-month lease. Okay, don't get a month to month. Okay, it's
Airbnb, dog. Right. Or live with your roommate, teammate, or something.
Keep your carry on in the car, okay?
Dude, and you know, PJ Tucker got a whole shoe collection. Don't even pack it, dog. Just keep it where it's at. Don't even try
to move your bags in the car, buddy. If I was him, I'd be on edge every time I got a ball in my hand.
Dude, what's worse, like these fans be like announcing trades to the players, so it's like I'll probably be if I'm him, I'm on the bench just looking over my shoulder, listening to fans talking about trades and stuff. Like, hey PJ, you just got moved again, dog. Like, what? Nah, but as far as this trade, I mean, is there a real winner?
That's why I chuckled when you put the like the trade details back on the screen. I chuckled. No. Go ahead, you want to answer?
Yeah, so Ian, initially it was just between the Warriors and the Heat, and then they opened it up. It's like a 5-team trade now.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. It went from 2 to 5.
Yeah, I got it. If it's not clear, I'll break it down for who's ever listening. All right. Because I just took a screenshot.
Oh, yes. Okay. Going off.
Oh, it ain't gone.
Let me see.
But either way. So back to what I'm saying. So as far as this deal, this whole trade scenario, the clear winner, the Pistons. I don't know. I don't know.
I say it's to be determined.
Yeah, this is a truly, because it's hard to tell when anybody, this wasn't really about team, right? This trade was about getting Jimmy out of their locker room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really hard to tell if how a team played out, like fares out from this trade, because it's hard to see what their goal was or what was the purpose. Like the purpose wasn't team driven, right? Like, so this is definitely one we'll have to see down the line, like 2-3 years, because as we know, as of now, he may get in the locker room, fall in love. He might fall in love with the Bay Area. Who knows? But as of now, Jimmy, like, I'm not signing a second year. I'm out of here. I'm going on the market. Blah blah blah. But he could want to stay, right? They could want him. It could be a match made. They could see some potential to what next year could be Steph's last dance, right? And they try to make a true run for it. So, when is Steph? Before I said that too fast, I know Steph signed a big contract. When is his last year on that contract?
I think it's next year as of right now. I think I have to look it up. But you know what? Let's make this next question easier for you. Perfect segue. Actually, who won this trade? Or more so, we know who lost this trade.
Oh yeah, we got to get to this one. Perfect timing too.
But who won? So therefore, just so people know, De'Aaron Fox, the star player for the Kings, he's actually playing his first game tonight in the Spurs uniform. Levine is in Sacktown. Him and Ian's favorite player, DeMar DeRozan, part 2 in Sacramento, right there.
And the Kings got Valanciunas too. I see what the Kings see. This is a clear vision. I can actually see out of these 3 teams in this trade. It's like only two of these teams made sense, and they played the third team. Can you guess which 2 made sense and which team got played? I'll start with De'Aaron Fox and the Spurs. This is great for the Spurs because Wemby needs a true point guard, right? And honestly, I can't even tell you who their main point guard is right now. I know it's not Chris Paul. As far as I remember, Chris Paul was coming off the bench. So he was playing with the second unit. As far as I know, he was playing with the second unit mainly. And Chris Paul has not regressed as bad as Klay Thompson, but he's definitely not the Chris Paul of Houston, right? He's definitely not the Chris Paul of the Clippers. So he for damn sure ain't the Chris Paul of the Hornets. So they definitely needed a fresh a all-star, because let's be clear, De'Aaron Fox is an all-star, right? An all-star caliber point guard.
Without a doubt.
Go in with their super Wemby. That's a whole nother topic. That man is not overhyped. He lived up to the hype. Year 2, he is everything and more that they predicted this man to be. And the Spurs are doing right by him by giving him somebody to play with.
Yep.
The Spurs ain't never been made a wrong move. A1 organization. The Spurs got it right with that De'Aaron Fox move. Number 2, the Kings. Zach LaVine balled his ass off this season on a pedestrian Bulls team. And as you said, Jamar, it makes perfect sense. He was showcasing his talent to get chose. He was a pick-me basketball player this year, and he got chose, okay? And he is going to a contending team. He is not going to a team that will play the first game of the play-in and get bounced out before they go to the real playoffs, right? He has the potential to at least the Kings had the potential to make the conference finals, if not the semis. Like, that's how good the Kings are in the West. And so, exactly. And he's back with his running mate. I think the Kings have a big ceiling, a really, really big ceiling, and getting DeMar back. And getting LaVine back with DeMar, along with the Valanciunas ad, so that, like you said, they can move Sabonis to his true position as a 4. Yep. Chef's kiss, genius. That's a 2 for 2 right there. Then we come to the Bulls.
Come on, bro.
It's like, I feel like the Bulls' job has been helping other teams win when it comes to these trades and these sorry picks and just everything. It's just, I saw something today. The Bulls were so relieved to get LaVine contract off their books that they signed. Ain't like they picked him up for somebody else picked up his contract. It's their contract, right? That's number 1. 2, they so happy to get back their own pick that they gave away. Like, come on now. Like, you got played. And yes, I was going to thank you, Ian. They re-signed Lonzo for $20 million just now. Oh, you sent me that. They re-signed Lonzo, but Lonzo ain't been nothing this season since he came back. He was not, I understand how good Lonzo was 4 years ago before he got hurt, 3 years ago, whenever he got hurt. He ain't proved or showed nothing since being back from that injury. He barely getting 5 points a night. Like, stop it.
So, stop it. Real quick. So, I mean, it's a 2-year, $20 million, so that's 10 a year. It's a value deal. I ain't too much tripping off of that. And the Vooch part, I hope he's gone. Please go. Get him out of there before the deadline. Ship him to Golden State. I don't care. Get him out of here. Patrick Sorry Williams, he needs to go.
They gave him all that money. It's like they swapped out one bad deal for another. They gave Patrick Williams all this money for nothing.
Did.
And they're going to be doing the same thing, be dying to get him off their books. The same way they doing LaVine. The same way they did LaVine. Sorry.
So the perfect saying for all this, for what the Bulls are doing, like my wife tells this to my kids all the time. You do not get credit for cleaning up the mess that you made.
Exactly.
You don't.
And that's exactly what the Bulls did this deadline, was just sweep up their own crap and put it back in the jar and set it on their shelf. And then they want us, the paying customers, to come and pay to see it.
So like in the messages that I sent you either yesterday or the day before, I forgot, but pretty much saying that, look, as a consumer, as a fan, like I already boycotted the White Sox. I boycotted all 162 games. I ain't watched a single highlight. I ain't watched a single game. I ain't listened to a single radio broadcast. That's a lot of days in the year for me to avoid that team. And I have pretty much done the same with the Bulls. Like I have. Like I'm not spending money on a freaking subscription to $20 a month to watch them.
That's crazy.
I'm not doing that. Crazy. I'm not going out to go buy a better antenna so I can go catch them on whatever channel 67.2. I'm not doing that either. I'm not going out of my way to go to a game to play premium price for what, freshman tier basketball. I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm pretty much unofficially, but officially boycotting the Bulls too. Like, there's no point. Like, there's no point.
Yeah. You know what the Bulls is like? The Bulls, you got a group of friends, guys or girls, and it's that one ugly friend in the group. And the guy come over and they talking to one friend. They like, well, why you ain't talking to me? I'm high value. I'm worth this. I'm that. Ain't got no crib, ain't got no car, ain't got no job, ain't got no income. You just there, but you so high value. You worth all this. That's the Bulls. How in the hell do you think you worth an extra subscription? How? You think people finna play premium for the product you put out on that court?
And then they got the nerves like, okay, well, not only we got the Bulls, we got the Blackhawks and the White Sox on here. Like, that's any better? Like, I'm gonna pay $20 to watch 3 bum teams?
Insane. And I'll tell you, maybe I got a little gambling addiction, maybe I don't. But the point is I started betting on hockey. And now I'm learning a lot. You learn a lot about sports betting. And I tell you what, it wasn't not one Blackhawks player that's in the top 50 for the shots on goal stats.
Ooh, not even Connor Bedard, the supposed to be the one, supposed to be the guy. That's the only player I know in the Blackhawks, and he's supposed to be in that guy. And he's not even in that top 50? Yikes. Okay.
Maybe I could be wrong. I'll double check. But maybe because the Blackhawks ain't play yesterday. I don't know.
No, you're probably right. You probably right.
I've been digging in some NHL stats. Okay.
You may have an addiction, but that's neither here nor there right now. The answer.
Put a poll up. The T got a gambling addiction. I'm gonna be betting on junior tennis over the summer. I'm gonna bet on T-ball.
That's wild. And keep your kid away from sports because she's gonna be betting on your child. Like, stop it.
Oh my goodness.
As far as this Vooch going to the Warriors, like, look, we thought Jimmy wasn't going anywhere but the Suns, but he went to the Warriors. So I like whatever the Bulls got to do to get rid of Vooch and Patrick Williams and AK in the front office, whatever we and the owner, like whatever you got to do to get rid of all these people.
The Bulls want too much. See, that's another thing. They want too much with Vooch, but gave up LaVine for a bag of chips and a pickle. Like I cannot. Like it's I just can't. It's too much. The Bulls are very, very disappointed. When I saw that trade come in, I'm glad Levine is getting out because he deserves to win. He deserves to have a chance to win. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
no, 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 no. You okay? You gave that man too much credit now. Like,
All I
look,
said is he deserves to have a chance. I didn't say
no,
he was
no, he
gonna
don't.
win. I
No,
didn't say he's gonna
no.
be the best player on the team.
Mm.
He has been playing.
He
He's still sort of young, and he has been playing his ass off this season. And
is
he
it.
is in purgatory, in limbo.
Is he playing his behind half for the team or for himself? Because that's pretty much been his whole attitude since he's been with the Bulls. Like you can score, you can shoot the Bulls in the game and out the game. We know that. But have you made anybody on your team better? He ain't did it in Minnesota. He definitely ain't did it in the 7 or 8 years he's been here. And do I see him doing it in Sacramento? Hell no. That's not happening. He's worried about himself.
I don't like this Levine.
He is at one point he had the worst winning percentage of any player in the NBA who has never made the playoffs. And that's probably still accurate to this day. I ain't trying to hear.
Well, because Minnesota was a terrible team when he was on it.
We traded away a winning player for him that no. Mm-mm.
I did not see this Levine hate coming. You know, this is like you hanging out with a group of friends and y'all all cool. Like, okay, girl, talk to you later. You're like, okay. And then we get in the car, you go, I hate that bitch. It's like, damn, I thought y'all was cool. Like, I thought y'all was cool. Like, you just slipped on me. Like, okay,
for the record,
you ain't wrong. I do some deep soul searching. But okay,
for the record, I wanted them to keep DeMar and got rid of Levine. That's what I wanted to happen.
I agree. I would have preferred that. I love DeMar DeRozan on the Bulls. Love him.
He was a winner. He was a gamer. He wanted to win.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, because then I'm thinking about what you just said. I definitely see DeMar pulling that out of Levine and the team, making them wanted to, win and have that fire under them when they was playing, when DeMar was on the team. I could see that. In all fairness, I cannot go against what you're saying or agree to it, at least for this season, because I have not watched a Bulls game. The only Bulls game I watched was the one I went to in November when they played my favorite player, Ant-Man. So I can't agree or disagree about this season. All I know is he's been putting up numbers. That's where I'm getting my 2 cents from. Even though I'm not watching the games, I'm following all the games. I'm looking at all the box scores, right? And he's been putting up numbers. So we'll see. And obviously he wanted to go. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, his reasons being for or not for the team, he still played his ass off to be put in a better position.
Yeah,
right?
His agent probably told him like, "Hey, if you want to get traded, you're gonna have to put up some numbers here so you can create some value." You like say less. That's exactly what happened.
So you think so? With that logic, do you think he'll turn it back down for the rest of the season when he for Sacramento?
He definitely ain't dropping 30 a night like he was here. Too many mouths to feed over there, and plus they probably got a more.
Well, not really. Let's be clear. The only other player on Sacramento that was putting up because the DeRozan, De'Aaron Fox had a slow start to the season, right? But he started putting up numbers, and then we already know what Sabonis could do. But he taps out. He just a straight double. He could get you 20, 18 to 20 a night, right?
But the thing was, he was doing that before. I mean, he was getting 20 plus with the double doubles before DeRozan got there. But once again, too many mouths to feed.
That's what I'm saying.
You got Keegan Murray as well, second-year player. He can get buckets too. So I mean, I'm not seeing he could probably give you about 18 to 20 a night in that system, which probably is enough. But I don't see the 30. I don't see that 30 like that. No,
I don't see the 30. I can see it about 22. 2025. Yeah. That's the smartest thing I heard you say about basketball, Ian. Absolutely.
Wow.
Best player. Favorite player to watch. Most electrifying player in the league right now. I don't care about his woes, his ups and downs. He always up in my eyes. Yeah, I know he having a rocky time. I don't care. I don't care. But continue.
You are hilarious. Okay. All right. So, there's been some other trades here.
Yes. I'm gonna pull it up.
Um, this one here was, I guess, a little random, but it happened. Chris Middleton went to the
Yes.
nation's capital, aka the worst team in the league, and Kyle Kuzma came from under the ground from the cemetery back to life to the
Do you
Milwaukee
think so
Bucks.
though? I feel about Kyle Kuzma how you feel about um similar to how you feel about Levine. Because I'm not gonna go again. Because once again, sports better. Cal Kuzma has been hitting his unders consistently. You keep betting the under on him, you're going to win. And that is not a good thing. It's not a good
Um,
thing. And come on, he is plenty of ball. Is ample enough ball time for him to get some points on the Wizards. Stop it. Okay?
you're
Stop it.
you're right,
You're
but
trading Fritos for Funyuns. Stinky chips for stinky chips. Okay? You want to tell me that Chris Middleton, Mr. Inconsistent, he has been terrible. Terrible. Okay, I'm exaggerating terrible. He has not been great with the Bucks this season at all. And Cal Kuzma has just been in purgatory. It's like he's been in detention. Everybody on the Wizards team is in timeout. Okay?
I wonder why.
It's just where you go to literally clock in and clock out and go home. Let me dribble this ball and not get fined. That's the only thing them players is doing in DC. Period. And now, what is the Bucks goal? They traded an inconsistent player that's having a down year. They're trading an inconsistent player that's having a down year for a worse player who's having a terrible year. I don't think anybody who's not into sports or basketball know who the hell Cal Kuzma is. And who he could be on who he played for. And I bet you Chuck could not tell you what team he was at before this trade.
You are hilarious.
I bet money. Tell me, am I wrong? And you want to take a prominent team with this one of the top 3 players in the league right now and downgrade him from a D plus to a D minus.
Okay. All right. Are you finished or are you done?
I'm done. It was a waste. Like, why keep him? You know what that's like? That's like when they got rid of Trubisky and brought in Andy Dalton.
QB1.
Is it me? Same shit. Like, what are we doing here? Why are you wasting my time? Like, you're wasting my time.
All right. So first off, Ian, you might be the only one that loves Funyuns. I ain't rocking with them at all. I'm more liable to eat Fritos than Funyuns. I'm not. I don't even think I open a bag.
I just know they're stinky. I love them. I love onions.
I never even cracked the bag open of those. Love them. I'll eat onion rings, like real onion rings, not those. Anyway, look. So you've been in. I mean, you're a huge sports fan. Like ever since I know you, I've known you for about a decade now. You've been a big sports fan then. You still a big sports fan now. So I do expect somebody of your caliber to understand that environments matter. The Wizards organization is a terrible environment.
Terrible purgatory.
They won their 9th game of the year tonight. Number 9, not 19, not 29, 9.
Mm-hmm.
The best player on the team is Jordan Poole, whose leadership is probably as strong as my cat right here. Like I think my cat got better leadership than Jordan Poole right now. And that thing just licking itself, Lord. Anyway,
we're gonna put another story. That man got sent to purgatory because he got punched in the face.
Hey, look, all I'm gonna say is you don't call another man or woman a B word and expect nothing to happen. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, facts.
You don't do it.
Continue.
But look, I feel like anybody in that environment in a terrible culture is going to probably not play motivated or play terrible and just not gonna really showcase their talents as they should in the bad environment. You can be in a great environment and have a bad record, and you still gonna put up better numbers and have more motivation because the environment matters. On a sports team, in your workforce, your everyday life at home, like environment matters. So Kyle Kuzma, when he was actually in a winning culture and winning environment, when he was with the Lakers, when they actually won a championship, I mean, he actually was a vital part of the team. So I feel like when he actually goes to Milwaukee, he probably remembers how to play some basketball again, play with one of the best players in the world. Giannis is my favorite player in the league because he has that mentality similar to your boy Ant-Man. It's just one of them killer instincts. That's why I like Ant-Man just as much as Giannis. So to be in that environment, and it's going to be in spite of Doc Rivers, because I'm not a big fan of his at all. One of the most overrated coaches of all time. But anyway,
living off that one win in Boston, huh?
Dude, I call him Lack Rivers. That man is lacking. Like I could sit here for a whole 30 minutes going off on Doc Rivers right now.
Doc Rivers, call him Duck. He's just sitting. DR, don't use rotation. Don't rotate players.
Dude, that man is trash.
DR, don't resign.
Bruh. But yeah, I think he'll be better in a more fresh environment. In Middleton, I mean, dude, his time has set in Milwaukee. I thank you for your services. You got my boy Giannis a ring when it mattered the most in 20. So or 21, whatever year that
21.
was.
You got the ring in 21.
Yeah, so yeah, I think Kuzma and the unders won't be as many unders on the bet. And it might still be some, but not every game like you've been betting. But
ain't gonna be no instant change. You got to learn how to win. He don't know how to win. That's a mentality too. It's like you know them Lifetime movies when people are held captive in basements. And then they come out the basement and they got to relearn, how to do everyday things in life. That's what Kuzma got to do. He's just not going to come into Milwaukee and start balling and fucking putting up numbers and contributing to wins. No, he's like a Bambi, a deer learning how to walk again. He don't know what the fuck to do to be a asset to a winning team and a winning culture. You just think he's just going to walk into Milwaukee organization and be like, yo, I got this. Give me the ball. I'm going to take us to the chip. No. Not gonna happen. Get your ass on the end of this bitch and watch us win and learn something. That's what's gonna happen. Okay, it ain't happening, Ian.
Ian, tell her.
It ain't happening.
He's gonna come out in the first game, drop 20.
This ain't a movie. Okay, this ain't Pride when you take them nobodies and teach them how to swim and then they win at the end of the movie. This ain't that. This ain't Coach Carter. Okay.
I tied that shoe. Like, what you talking about?
This ain't Coach Carter. It ain't finna happen. It ain't.
I locked those doors.
Champion. I guess the champion always a champion. But
see, Giannis is a champion. He's a champion. He could probably relate better to Giannis than Dame Lillard. How about that?
Who he won with the Lakers?
Yeah.
And then there was the bubble ring. Stop it. He had half a champion. Don't even get me started on that. Stop it.
I ain't gonna disagree with you on that one.
Champion went.
I ain't gonna disagree with you on that one.
Stop it. Like I said, sit at the end of this bitch and watch us and learn something in a real organization. Okay? I'm done.
Oh man.
I'll leave.
Y'all are hilarious.
Please.
All right, there's been a couple other moves here. Like his former teammate Jonas Valanciunas went to Sacramento. I mean, we just talked about the Kings and them getting Levine there. So that team, if I'm
He
not
got a better
mistaken,
deal. Because Valanciunas was still playing decent down there in the dungeon in DC. And I think he's gonna definitely start and he's gonna he gonna do good.
and the Kings
I like this deal.
are currently eighth in the West. So we got the Kings
Oh, they
who's the
definitely
eighth, the Warriors that's 10th, Dallas 11th, and the Spurs that's 12. All making moves here, saying that we're not out of this. We're gonna climb up and knock some teams down.
Let's do this to end off the show. Let's do this. Let's do a new prediction based on the moves that happened, the current standings. Let's say where we think the West is gonna, like the teams in the West are gonna rise and fall based on the trades that happened so far.
Okay, so I'm gonna say Oklahoma City still gonna be one. They're gonna finish the year at number one. That's what's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. I say, going back to that the biggest shocker of the universe, I say the Dallas Mavericks climb all the way to a top 4 seed.
4. Who falling out the top 4?
I'm not a fan of Memphis. I'm just not.
You know what? I was thinking that too, because I haven't been watching them enough. And I'm like, how are they number 2? Because from what I know, Ja been hurt. Ja been hurt most of the season. Right? He been in and out the lineup a lot of the season. And
I don't see it. I don't see they're not good enough.
Bane, I will say, Bane has been playing really good this season. He's been playing really good. Triple J been balling out like crazy. He really has. Bane really has been putting up about 25 points a night. I'm not gonna hold you. Surprisingly, it was hard for him to even get 10 at one point, but he's been putting up 25 points a night. And Jaren Jackson Jr. just been
like Jaren Jackson Jr. He's a sensational talent by himself. He's very talented.
Yeah.
But like just those two, like in Morant, I just don't see it. Like right.
Yeah, and in the West, it would be more understandable if this was the East and it was number 2. Because I definitely agree with you. It's hard for me to trust Memphis staying there mid-March.
Like, you know I have more faith in the Houston Rockets than I do the Memphis Grizzlies. Because I feel like Ime Udoka, like his coaching alone keeps that team together. So
absolutely.
I say the Spurs jumps in to at least a play-in.
Yeah.
I say the Phoenix Suns might fall out altogether.
Yeah.
I say the Lakers will fall down into the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sacramento could climb up to at least a 6.
Mm-hmm.
And let me do part 2 to this real quick with you. And this was going to be the last thing I was going to post. What ends up happening to Kevin Durant? Does he stay? Does he go? If he goes, where does he go?
They keep him.
And I feel like even if he does stay, I don't think they get it done.
No, because that's the crazy thing. This year, all 3 of them has been healthy.
Yeah, there's no
for the
excuse.
most part. Like a regular season, regular healthy, and they are absolutely underachieving. It's no reason. What are they? 2 games below 500 right now?
25 and 24, 9th in the West.
1 game above 500. That is very unacceptable. Exactly. And the Warriors is Steph Curry and the Pips.
Pretty much.
Like it's literally nobody on the Warriors right now.
My name is Steph Curry, and these are the Golden State Warriors. Like I'm David Ruffin.
Period. That's it. And then these are his his later years. This is Otis going on tour after all the original Temptations died. All the originals died. And he on tour with the backups to the backups. And you
third generation singers out here.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed. And that's the problem. And that's just such. I like KD. KD for me, I always had this comparison. What Kobe, the way I view Kobe, the way I view Aaron Rodgers, what these players got in common to me, I view Kobe the same way. These are players I just respect because of their game, period. Because of what they bring to the sport, they sheer talent, right? I can't hate them. Am I a big Kobe fan? No. Lord knows I don't like Green Bay, right? But you cannot disregard just their sheer talent, right? And try to downplay it. And I put KD in that category. I've never been a huge KD fan or a fan of any team he played on, to be completely honest. But he's pure talent. He just is. And the fact that he's this pure talent like this, and he's on this team with Devin Booker, who is not a scrub, who is still playing amazingly. Bradley Beal fell off a cliff. That's a story for another day. But they supposed to be this big three. And they did put these pieces around him. And I feel like they're in this good environment, as you pointed out. And this was their year to really make a lot of noise. And they just falling flat. And it's like, trade KD and then what? I feel like the Suns are backed into a corner right now because we're supposed to be winning. We shouldn't even be talking about anything at trade deadline right now. We should be between the top three players, top three teams in the West. Why are we even in talks during the trade deadline season? And so they trade KD for what? They not finna win with whoever they replace KD with. That's still out there available, And so I feel it sucks. KD is still great, but maybe Ian is right. They don't fit offensively because it's not working. It's not working.
It's the Bradley Beal.
It's not working.
Like, look, Kevin Durant is a seamless fit on any team. Based on his game and how he plays and his skill set, he fits on every team. So he's seamless.
Yeah.
Devin Booker, the way that Devin Booker plays, those two complement each other. When you throw in Bradley Beal, who I was a big Bradley Beal fan coming out. When he came out of Florida, he was a cross between his comp was a cross between Eric Gordon and Ray Allen. Like, the man can score. He can ball. He's a perennial all-star. He can get buckets. But the thing is, you try to make him play the point guard position.
Wait, is this the guy who was dug in down the Wizards line when they called his name? John Wall.
Him and Bradley Beal was running mates for the Wizards for all those years. Like, that was a sensational backcourt.
Okay.
And
dug in and losing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he was doing. But nevertheless, Bradley Beal's an instant bucket, but you got a bunch of instant buckets. You got too many Chiefs and not enough Indians. That's the problem, in my opinion, as far as it's not enough basketballs to go around. You needed somebody else that was either a facilitator that can get his off ball, or you needed a big that can have some type of massive impact, because the bigs that they play with does not get it done. Nurkic, as good of an offensive player he is soft. He is soft. He is, and his IQ is not very high. They do not have enough defensive players at all on that team to really make a difference on that side of the court. It's not.
Yeah, who is a defensive? That's what I was going to say. First off, Beal is definitely the odd man now. I would get rid of. Why are we talking about trading Durant? Trade Beal. Get him out of there. That's the one that needs to go. Problem.
Remember the two players I said with a no trade clause? LeBron James.
Oh yeah, Beal got the no trade clause. For whatever
reason, Bradley freaking Beal has a no trade clause. For whatever reason, whoever the agent is the real MVP. Whoever's the dummy of an executive to sign off of it needs to be fired and never work in the NBA again.
Yeah.
And so I mean, Ian saying AD for Bradley Beal would have been a dope. Yeah. And that's why you hear Dallas trying to somehow pry their way to get Kevin Durant on the Mavericks with AD and Kyrie. If that was to happen, then that's a whole nother that's a whole nother discussion.
That's a team right there.
That Mr. Durant is a seamless fit on all 30 teams in the league.
He is an amazing player. So the fact that they in this situation ain't his fault. Yeah, I'm gonna just say it ain't his fault.
No, he shows up to work, back in the, the 50s and 60s when, the men used to have a little lunch pail that goes to work and stuff, walk with the hard hat. That's Kevin Durant. He comes to work with the hard hat and the lunch pail, does his job, picks up his hard hat and the lunch pail and goes home. That's what he does.
And go home. He don't even brush his hair. That's how much he don't care. He don't try to put the black stuff on like LeBron, the little fake like hairline. He just want to hoop. He just want to hoop. That's it. He don't care how he look. That man don't.
No, man. That's how you know how. That's how much he loves the game.
I'm here to hoop. You hooping or what? Period.
Loving basketball, not loving brush, dog.
That's it. That's it. He let his soul glow. No, he didn't. He trying to play ball.
Oh.
Okay.
But
okay.
But yeah.
All right. We getting past the hour. Let me tell you what I think.
And then we can close out.
The moves will be with these trades. Okay. In the West, I definitely agree. OKC ain't going nowhere. The conference is theirs to lose. Be Correct. Very clear about that. Everything is running through them. Is they gonna do it or is they gonna pull the Detroit Lions?
Oof.
We gonna see.
Great.
All right. I agree with you on Memphis. Yeah, I agree with you on Memphis. The fact that they only got 16 losses is definitely mind-boggling.
I don't get it.
I can see Houston moving up to number 2. Denver has been shaky. Now, I've watched Denver games. Denver plays shaky. And what saves them is just Jokic being Jokic, right?
I wish they would have somehow ended up with Jimmy Butler because that would have did it for me.
Mm-hmm. It's something off about them this year. I can't put my finger on it, but it's something off about Denver this year. So they needed a move.
Their glue guy, Caldwell Pope, was their glue guy that year. They missed that.
Yeah, it's something off about them. That could be it. The Lakers at number 5. That's gonna fall because AD was the best player on their team by far, and it wasn't close.
Like who's rebounding?
And as great as Luka is exactly, and as great as Luka is, he's coming off an injury, and he's coupled with the fact that he's in a new environment on a new team. He got to gel, get his spot. He looking at LeBron like his daddy, so he finna fucking follow his lead and see what. Nah.
Matter of fact, he ain't following his lead. This is Luka's team now.
Yeah, but you think about it. Let's be honest, right? LeBron is 15 years older than him. That means that when Luka was growing up, most likely LeBron was his favorite player.
Okay. But
and so now he gets the chance to play with his favorite player on his team. Now, I'm not saying because he's a professional, he getting his money, he's still a star and an NBA player. But I'm saying he's not finna come in the door. This my team, give me the ball, follow what I say. No, stop it. I think that's gonna take some time. They gotta build a rapport, they gotta get an understanding about roles, and LeBron has to actually let Luka know I'm taking a step back, this your team. I don't think he's gonna come in the door like.
I mean, you're probably right. He may not, but the way that Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka spoken with that trade, just the passive aggressiveness, they probably gonna push the agenda on Luka.
Probably, but I don't think Luka's gonna take that initiative himself.
Probably not.
You see what I'm saying? To say this is my team. So with that, there comes a curve, right? There comes that's what I'm saying. And then that's where the dip off comes. So the Lakers are tumbling, like you said, I agree, down into the play-in, probably 9 or 10, to be honest. The Clippers are what we like to call NBA floaters. They're just there. And they do enough to stay there. They're the anti-Bulls, right? The Bulls are floaters, but they floating in crap. Just to be
Somehow
politically
it comes
correct.
back to the Bulls.
And they floaters. They just do enough to stay in the play-in. They just do enough. And the Clippers are the same way right now. The Clippers are just doing
Well,
enough,
and
right, to be in
yeah,
the playoffs. But will they out the first round? They out. They just there. They just holding the spot. Because somebody got to be number 6.
I
So it's like,
and
why not us?
unfortunately, I feel like the next team that's right next to them is the same thing, and that's our beloved Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they floaters too.
You know what? Minnesota has had ups and downs this season. I will say they started off strong. They just went through a
It's
slump. They coming out the slump. They 6-4 the last 10
Julius Randle's
games.
fault.
They was definitely in a slump a couple weeks ago. So with them, I would say not really the same as the Clippers because they making a push, right? Because they could have stayed, because I think they was down at number 10 a week or so ago. But they've been making a push. And I could definitely see Minnesota rising and moving up with the Lakers being pushed down. Sacramento pushing up. I think Phoenix is going to stay right there in the play-in, to be honest. I think Golden State is going to stay. I think they're going to move up to 7. They're going to stay in the play-in, but be like number 7 or 8, right? Like one of the top 2 play-in seeds where they get that second chance to play again. And then I think Dallas is for me, it's a similar situation to the Lakers. On paper it's a great fit, but it's gonna be a learning curve. We haven't really seen, or it's just rare to see a big star go to a new team and just right off bat they make waves and noise, right? So I could see Dallas and San Antonio scooching up. So I would say the teams that'll fall out, uh I could see the Lakers falling down, Memphis falling down, um, Golden State possibly falling out completely. Either they at 10 or they out, to be honest. And then Dallas and San Antonio moving up. Yeah, I think it's gonna be big shifts in the West. Not too much noise in the East. I think everything will pretty much stay as is. Miami. I mean, I know before we get out of here, so we gotta go. So Tyler Hero has been holding Miami together with some duct tape and some crazy glue. Okay. And this is just an appreciation really quick for Tyler Hero. You deserve that all-star spot. I heard noise, people saying he ain't deserve. He took
That
the
was me.
He is literally he has is no reason Miami should be number 6. None. All the turmoil, all the drama going on in that locker room. Who is hooping for the Heat besides Tyler Hero? It ain't Bam. I ought to buy you some new legs. Okay, he don't do nothing. A waste. There's nobody on that team other than Tyler Hero, and the fact that that team is above 500, albeit one game, but they still number 6 in the East is insane. And that is all Tyler Hero. All of him. Nobody else. Not even close. But so I don't even know if they'll fall or stay or what. They might get better now that they quote unquote cancer is gone
They
out the
got the
locker room.
GOAT, PJ Tucker back.
PJ Tucker don't know where he going. I gotta say, hey, bro, keep your suitcase zipped up. When you done brushing your teeth, put it back in the bag.
Bruh, the East is so bad. I mean, the Bulls are at number 10 and they are 22 and 29 on the year.
Yeah, the East is terrible. Still, I think the East had 1 year recently where they was a better
Then I think that
conference.
might have been last year. That that might have been last
Just
year.
terrible.
Like no bull. Yeah, other than that, it's usually the West world. It's always the West.
I mean, but it's so crazy that these teams got bad records because they actually good teams. Like
I
Detroit,
mean,
Kate Cunningham is
they,
balling.
he
He
is.
is balling. And they are beating, they have beat
They're
good
learning how to
teams.
win. That's what it is. They're going through growing pains, but they actually like on the
Yeah,
right side of growing pains. I think if
yeah,
Paolo Banchero never got hurt for the Magic, that team would be so much higher in the conference. And that's the team.
yeah.
That's the team right there that I don't think a lot of those upper echelon teams want to see in a 7-game series.
And I'll be so pissed if I was an Atlanta fan because why didn't they make any big moves? What are you doing? What are you doing? Y'all okay? With every year. And they like the Bulls. Let's be clear. They're the Bulls of the South.
Yeah.
Let's get real clear here. They have been in the same position every year, wasting Trae Young
Yep.
good years. Because Trae Young is a star. As we all know, they man getting 14 assists a night. Okay? And y'all ain't did nothing to help this man out.
Hey, but when he was drafted, because technically he was drafted by Dallas and he was traded for Luka. And they said Atlanta won that trade by default since Dallas traded Luka away. That's wild.
No way. Insane. It's like the East. Did they know the deadline tomorrow? What y'all
I
doing?
mean,
Wake up. Like they just all go, well, it's either Cleveland or Boston. We'll try
at
again
least
next year. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like the East did this. Like they're
at least
not even
Milwaukee is
trying.
trying. That's
True.
the only one that's really trying there.
You know who's really I feel sorry for? New York. Because they ain't finna go nowhere. You're doing all this fake capping, being number 3. Guess what's gonna happen? You're the Dallas of the NBA, okay? It's not happening. You get knocked out the first round. It's over.
Not the first round.
You're overachieving.
That's wild. It ain't like, I think the East is relieved. I think Boston and New York's relieved. They ain't got to see Jimmy Butler anymore in the playoffs.
Yeah, tearing up their hopes and dreams. But still, it's just sad. I feel like the East is not even. They just like, like, and I will agree, with the exception of Milwaukee. I feel like Boston is playing like they didn't even win
But
last year.
that's still the team. I feel like that's the team in the East that's probably going to come out the East. Yes.
Boston, absolutely. The Cavs,
I don't
no.
see it. Not right now. I don't trust them.
Donovan Mitchell, DM, donating money. Nah.
Bruh, you got to chill. I know you came from happy hour and all, but come on, bro. Chill.
But I'm done. Okay.
All right. Well,
You doing final words?
yeah,
Final thoughts on the deadline overall?
yeah. Well, yeah. You want to go first on that, or?
Sure. I'll go first. Let you
All right.
close it out. As I stated at the top of the show, this has definitely been one of the most exciting, shocking trade deadlines. As you know, being an avid sports and basketball fan, most of this action comes during the off season, right? Where all the shock value and the big trades and the excitement of where he going, get excited for the season to start. The fact that we have this many big name in the dark trades happening during the middle of the season has been very fun. It put a jolt in the association, and I think it should happen more often. It's like Beyonce dropping that secret album nobody knew was coming. It changed the music industry.
Yeah.
It did, and I feel like the trade deadline season for the 2020 for 2025 year. This will change the way trades and the kind of players and just the whole culture of in season trades moving forward. That's my thought, and I'm here for it. The NBA definitely needed a shake up. I feel like this season has definitely been blah. It's like they just going through like the players going through the motion trying to get to April so they could be on vacation because they already know they ain't making the playoffs. Like it's like that's what it felt like. So this has been very fun. It's been very interesting. It's been a wake up call. Um, and actually, it also, like we said, in the West at least, it shook to me. I think it's gonna shake up the standards because once again, it was just, oh, we already know who gonna be well, who at least gonna be in the play in and who gonna be in the top six. And now that could who knows what it'll look like beginning of April, you know? So this has been great overall. It's been fun overall. NBA Twitter never fails, it's undefeated. And I just really enjoyed it. I mean, the fact that we was able to sit here and talk for an hour and a half simply on NBA trades is telling in itself, you know.
Facts.
Um, well, I'm just grateful and just excited to see what happens because, like you said, we got 18 hours, 17
Yeah.
hours. Um, so let's see what happens. We usually get those big trades the morning of. They could have did that Jimmy one tomorrow morning, low key. It would have been right on course. But hey, they switching it up for the
Hey,
coaches. So
I'm,
we'll
I'm
see.
glad we got it
We'll
tonight.
see. But that's all I got.
I feel you. I'm glad we got it tonight, so we can talk about it tonight. Um,
Hmm.
yeah. So, like, kind of mentioned, like the season been boring. I mean, more so the product itself has not been great. Like, usually if I'm watching basketball, I'm starting with my Bulls, and then I go to the rest of the league just by nature. Bulls been terrible for a number of reasons. League itself, it's like it's been a lot more negativity about the NBA these days than positivity. But nevertheless, the deadline itself has always been one of those to where maybe just maybe between the deadline, the NBA finals, and the first day of free agency has always been like the peak of the sport. And so for the deadline to be as exhilarating and exciting as it has been in years past, especially with like even over time with me growing up, enjoying the deadline day and all that stuff. It's definitely garner my interest again, and maybe just maybe I might pay attention a little bit more to the NBA. I've had like 4 months of free league pass thanks to FanDuel, and I ain't really watched a single bit of it, hardly any of it. Heck, my
Yeah.
mother-in-law, I gave her the login for it. She's been watching. I don't have a use for it, but maybe just maybe after this deadline, I might pay a little bit
Yeah.
more attention to it. Just maybe. So, but nevertheless, I thank you for those that joined us tonight. Shout out to Ian for popping up and stirring up some tension here with Moneybags TT. But nevertheless,
He lost though, as always. Always losing a head to head debate with me.
oof. Shots fired, Ian. If you still watching, man, you might need a bulletproof vest, dog. Uh, dang, not, dude. She's channeling her inner John Morant right now. Let's get out of here before she start losing endorsements and stuff. Uh, but nevertheless, we'll be on Saturday, like we always do, 7 a.m. Central Time, live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. With the rest of the with the rest of the crew. Uh, so for money bags over there, for Ian, for Jake and Brandon who couldn't join us tonight. On Jamar, we will see you all Saturday morning.